Now we are live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Good evening. Tonight the topic is mistake. And with me are Bruna, Sara, Breno, and Lucas. My name is Leonardo. I am 27 years old. I've been a host here on TNT since the last year. And that's it. Let's start our conversation. Sara, please, can you introduce yourself? And I want to know from you, if do you often make mistakes?
Hey, so I'm Sarah. I'm a hostess here on TNT as well. I'm 26. Right now I'm working with sales. And when I was a kid, I wanted to change my name to Regina. So but now I like my name. Just some fun fact about me. Uh, Talking about mistakes, yeah, definitely. I'd like to make less, actually. But it's hard for me to decide sometimes. So I usually make a lot of mistakes, especially about my, I wouldn't say friendships, but personal relations. Sometimes I don't have a good judgment and I trust people too much. So that's one mistake I can mention. But yeah, usually a lot of them, it happens.
Jesus, yeah, it's problematic when you trust in someone and it's not something good. It's not that good at mistakes to do.
Yeah, definitely no.
And you, Lucas, can you introduce yourself, please? And do you often make mistakes?
Okay, guys. Well, I am Lucas. I'm from Fortaleza, but right now I live in Amazonas. I am a data scientist and physicist. And when I think about if I make some mistakes, I believe every day. Every day I think about my mistakes involving even the simple actions and the big actions, guys. So basically, I think this is the answer when I think about this question.
Yeah, you are just like me. You you are good to make mistakes.
Yeah, I know.
And so, Breno, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, sure. And first of all, I'm sorry for not showing my camera today. It's because my connection is poor. So that's why. And I also don't know how to change that background. So that funny background. And yes,
Come on, it's an example of background.
yeah, but it's okay. So I'm 30 years old. I work as videographer and video editor. I'm Brazilian, but I live currently in Montreal, Canada. And this topic fits well. It has a lot to do about me because even I'm 30, that it's not that old. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I've learned a lot from almost all of them. And I'm excited to discuss about it today.
Great, thanks, Breno. And you, Bruna?
And fun fact about me, I'm a totally random person. That's all.
That's good.
Nice.
Very good.
Hi guys, it's nice to meet you. I don't know. I think I'm talking to Breno and Lucas for the first time, but I live here in São Paulo with my family, my parents and my brother. I work as a teacher. I don't know if I have a fun fact about me. I love coffee. I like to dance. I dance samba, forró, and some other types of ballroom dance styles. What else? I like to study English, and now I've been studying Spanish too. I'm in this journey to learn this language. And I think that's it. And I've just I don't know, 1 hour ago, I sent an audio to my profe, my Spanish teacher, talking about mistakes, Leo, I swear. And then answering the first question, yes, I do make mistakes very often, every day, all the time. I think it's part of the process, of learning and of living too. So yeah, really often actually. And you?
Yeah, it happens to me a lot. As I said at the beginning, I'm good at making mistakes. I don't know why. It just happens to me. Sometimes I think, oh, it's easy to do. And then I make a mistake. So there is no simple task to me. I'm just good in making mistakes. Great. And guys, I want to know from you, how do you handle and when you make mistakes? If you feel sad, angry, upset, because sometimes I I make a mistake and then I try to correct it in some way. So I don't try to feel so much sad. I just try to change it in some energy to focus in another task. And I want to know from you, how do you handle when you make a mistake? Lucas.
Well, when I think about this, the main answer is I try fix it. So I believe when I see something wrong, when I make a mistake, I just think, oh, okay, I make this shit, but I can solve this problem anyway. I believe is this my answer about this guy. And you, Bruna, what do you think?
Yes, just like you said, I think I'm just like you, but Leo was saying about I don't know, being too hard on ourselves. I try not to be too hard on myself. Is it easy? No, it's not. I am usually hard on me. It's a challenge. I think when I started working as a teacher, I thought I needed to be perfect, and my English needed to be like just clear, and I needed to know all the words and everything. And then like talking to other teachers, and like in therapy too, I learned that it's not real, right? Like we're all here learning. And I think after therapy, I changed my relationship with making mistakes, and I think now it's lighter. Um, and I think it's good. As I said, I think we learn a lot from it. If we don't make mistakes, if we don't make things wrong, we don't learn, right? It will be really easy if it was always good and perfect. That's it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just necessary to, as you said, to learn something. And you, Sarah, how do you handle?
Yeah, I was thinking about this and I feel kind of nervous, but depends on the situation. If I make a mistake when I'm alone, it's okay. Nobody saw it, but when I'm with other person, last week I was taking some driving lessons and I was making some mistakes because it's so hard for me. I try my best, but it's too hard to learn. And every time I make a mistake, I make another because I'm feeling nervous because of the mistake I just made. So it's really complicated for me. I I really want to have this energy to make the mistake, to use the mistake to learn, but it's still something that I need to work on. But it's something that I feel sad, maybe disappointed, like, oh, I should know better by now, but it's a process, like Bruna said.
Yeah, it happens a lot with me as well. And sometimes when I commit a mistake that I know that will have a consequence just to me, it's okay, there's no problem. but when I make a mistake and I know that the consequence it will happen with many people, it's just, geez, I don't know how to handle with this. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
problem to me.
especially at work. It's embarrassing, even.
Yeah, and happens a lot. Então, Breno.
Well, I normally just a minute, guys. Okay. So the thing is, there are different kinds of mistakes, right? So for some of them, I try to relax and do the best that I can do to make things good. You know what I mean. For example, if I hurt someone, I try to talk to the person and tell the person that I was wrong or not, and try to to make things good. But when the mistake are too bad, when the mistake is too bad, I it's hard for me because I feel guilty, and that's hard. But yes, I think it is. That's it.
Yeah,
My wife is laughing at me. Don't laugh at me.
yeah,
I'm learning.
no, I think that the problem is not make mistakes. The problem is the guilt. Not make a mistake, everything, everyone will make a mistake, but the guilt, this is the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And Breno, you said at the beginning that you are 30 years old and you commit a lot of mistakes during your life. Do you think
Mhm.
it's important to make mistakes?
Yeah, but there is a way to. Okay, let me try to answer you first, because sometimes I get so random that I can go to another way of the answer. So I think it's important because it's part of life, and you, for example, if you want to learn how to skateboarding, you have to fall, to know how to fall, because it's important to know how to fall. Because I was a skateboarder when I was like my teenage, 16, 17. And the first thing that I learned was how to fall, was not how to do great tricks, for example. So I think it's a good lesson. Don't you agree?
I totally agree with you, Breno. Breno, you are not a random person. You are a smart person, I have to say to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Breno. And you, Sarah, do you think it's important to make mistakes?
Yeah, because the mistakes you make teach you what not to do, and this is an important lesson we can take from life. Like sometimes we want something really easy, I don't know, like just know the perfect way to do something, but I don't think that exists. So you have to know the wrong way first, maybe. You can get luck and just get right, but it's not likely for that to happen. So with your mistakes, you can learn, you can improve. And here, for example, I always watch the others so I can compare my pronunciation, my speaking, and I realize I make a mistake. I won't do it again right after, but I can make it the other day. But it's a way of taking your mistakes as an advantage for you. Not an enemy, but something you can use for your own growth.
Yes, and it's really interesting because it sometimes we are in a lifelong learning, and we will improve some skills. For example, English, we are here practicing every week, every day, and then we learn a new vocabulary, and then we try to use, to practice, and to include this vocabulary in in your speech. So I think that there are some situations that we can learn with each other. And you, Bruna?
I wouldn't say, but Breno said something really nice about making mistakes or failing at something, and then you just start over, and you learn from it. I think it's really important. Some weeks ago, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I was talking to my therapist about the fact that I always want to be good, and I don't want to make mistakes, and I just feel this need to be not the best, but should be the best I can, And then she told me, she asked me, how would life be if you were perfect at everything? And I was like, maybe I would try to find something I'm not good at to work on this stuff, So maybe if we didn't make mistakes, and if we weren't good, if we were good at everything, life would suck, because we wouldn't have any challenge. So I think making mistakes is about learning and being better, I think that's it.
Yes, and talk about researching something new to learn. And for example, and I think there are some necessities that in an adulthood, for example, and now I'm living alone, so I have to learn it to cook, and I wasn't good cooking, so I have to learn. There's no option to me. And now I'm doing it good. And you, Lucas?
Oh, I totally agree with Brandon, because in my path of academic path, I learned several times how to solve some problems, make some maths, and do something that I need to do in that time. So I believe it's important make mistakes, because in my environment in that moment was very hard. I am physics, and physics is a hard course, and you need to learn several things and make several question problems, and anyway, several stuffs. And I believe when you have some good mistakes, a good path to make mistakes, you can learn more. So I believe when I think about, okay, I make this question wrong, but I can solve later. So I believe this is important to learn for our life, I believe.
Yeah, and we can learn from our own mistakes, and also learn from others' mistakes. And I really want to know from you if you are a person who learn more with your own mistakes or with the others' mistakes. Sometimes we are just talk with some friends, and then someone else says, oh, I commit a mistake, and start to talk about this mistake, and then we start to think, yes, it was a mess, I will not do the same as you. But sometimes we do the same. So I want to know from you if you're a person who learn with your own mistakes, or if you learn with others' mistakes. Lucas.
I believe the both. the buff case, because in some moment you learn with your own mistakes, but when you see your friend and when you see your some people and make that mistake, oh, okay, this guy make this mistake. Oh, you can even judge this guy. Oh, why do you do this? But I believe when you feel in the the moment when you make the mistake, the same mistake, I believe you learn a little more. I believe because you feel in your skin, you know, the guilt.
The guilt. This is the
Yes.
problem. The guilt.
The guilt. So I believe it's this, guys. And you, Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you brought a great point because usually when I see a mistake, I can judge. I admit that, like, oh, this happened because of the person, not because of the whole situation. You know, sometimes it can be related to the person, but it's not always the case. But I'd say I learn with my own a bit more because I don't pay much attention to other people's lives. I think I sometimes I just look at the lives, but in a random way. Like take I don't take the chance to learn from the other people because I'm too distracted to do that sometimes, or I'm too focused on my own things, you know. So yeah, usually I learn from the shit I do, the bad things I do in my life, or the good ones as well. You can learn from both.
Yeah, come on, Sarah, it's a problem. We have to talk about others' lives. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I like to gossip a little bit, but sometimes I don't use the information for something really productive, you know? It's a confession. Yeah, but you're right.
Oh,
I can do
thanks,
better.
Sarah.
Yeah.
And you, Breno.
What was the point, guys? I just
If
want to make sure what question is this.
if you learn more from your own mistakes or from others' mistakes.
Of course, I learn more from my own mistakes because sometimes we think that we are learning from others' mistake, but we just get this information now. You know, we just look at the other mistake and their story, but you know, it's like that you are not really learning from their mistake. You know, sometimes you need to do your own mistake to really learn from them, especially, for example, when you are a kid and your parents just tell you not to do something and you okay, and then you when you do something that they told you not to do, so then you learn actually.
Yeah.
And of course that nobody is the lord of all the knowledge, and of course that even when someone tells you something about life or about anything in life, you know, actually a good advice, but it's not the same case. Sometimes it's not the same history, it's not the same story, you know, because each one has his own story. So I think that it's different. So it's kind of subjective to learn from others' mistake, because it depends what kind of mistake is this, you know.
Perfect, Breno. Thanks for sharing. It was really interesting. And to Bruna.
I couldn't agree more with what Breno has just said. I think sometimes even when we try to learn from the others, from other people's examples, I think it's not the same when we face the same experiences, so I think we may learn from both, but I think we learn more when we make the mistake and we face it and we have the chance to apply the things we believe in and change it in a way that it's going to be better for us, so I would say both, but maybe if we face it ourselves, it's better. Like maybe we can learn a bit more.
Yes, and sometimes the mistake can contribute to learn not just about the thing that we were or work on. Sometimes I just commit a mistake and try to understand the whole context, why it doesn't work the way I was expecting. So it's really interesting, especially at work, because it's pretty common people don't talk about the mistakes that they make during the meetings. And I'm a person who just started the meeting. Guys, I doing something wrong yesterday. Don't do it. So I'm a person who tried to share my mistakes with the group to just to share with them and try to help them as well. And I want to know from you, guys, if you feel free to make mistake in your work and what jobs don't allow you to make mistakes. There are some jobs where it really complicates if you commit a mistake. So I want to know from you. Bruna.
If I can make mistakes at the workplace.
Yes, if you feel free.
Yeah, actually, yes. I think this is something we talk a lot here on TNT. Like, if you always tell me it's okay if you do something wrong, we can fix everything. Like everything. I don't know if this is the word, but maybe everything is fixable or everything is we can repair everything. So I feel free, but it's interesting because at the same time, like Bruno, myself and I don't like to make mistakes too much. I know we've been talking about the importance, but it is still hard for me. So sometimes I do it and I need to exercise the moment, that I will do it and say, Fulano, I've just made something wrong, or I did this and I shouldn't have done it. So I think it's an exercise to admit to, that's it.
Yeah, and what kind of job or work do you think that is not allowed to commit a mistake?
I wouldn't say it's not allowed, but maybe if like depending on the situation, it may be kind of bad if you're a doctor, and you do something wrong. Like sometimes doctors operate the wrong arm or the wrong leg, so like this is something that happens. So maybe for a doctor, if you're a nurse, I think it can be complicated. That's it.
Yes. Once I was in a dentist to I have no idea, extrair dente. And then he just put the Jesus, I have no idea how to say anesthetic in English.
I think it's the anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
I think it is.
Yeah, just in one side of my mouth. And then I look at him and you need to put it on this side as well, okay? Just remember it. do it, please. Because there are some situations who it's not okay make a mistake. And you, Lucas.
Oh, guys, this question is very interesting because this week, that's last week, I talk about the make mistakes in my area, and some guy, some dude, well, he makes some process that just cost for the company $15,000 in 1 second, and this is a big mistake for our area. So, well, we can later my heads solve this problem, but in that moment, everybody saw this guy, and well, man, you make some big mistake. And this is a moment that you have some is like a good the good how can I say this? The company has a culture that you can make some mistakes, even the big mistakes. This is a, a moment, right? So I believe I have this this freedom for make mistakes. But as the Bruno said, as I believe I don't like to make mistakes because when I make the right movement, the right way to make my stuff, I believe I have some feeling, the good feeling, you know, like whoa, I make this right way, in the right way. So I believe is this, guys.
Great.
And you,
And
Brandon, what do you
Lucas,
think?
what job is not allowed to make mistake?
Oh, I believe is like I don't know, magician, or like as you say, some important guy like a CFO, CEO, that you push the button and you lose some big money. Like you know, I believe this is a mistake that you interfere in the several lives. So when you interfere in several life, you need to know what you can do. You know, like pilots in the are plane. You know, this is another example, and I believe this is it.
Great. And you, Breno.
Let me see. I've worked into kinds of environment, and the second one I was totally free to commit some mistakes. And here is important to open a parenthesis, because as I work in a creative industry, so it's good to commit mistakes, you know, because you can improve your creativity through them. So as I was saying, I've worked in two kind of environments, and the first one was not that good to commit mistakes because they are like two competitives, and each person would like to be the best. And if you commit some mistakes, you know, you could be judged for the others, you know, and it's kind of a toxic, you know, environment. and it was not I don't believe it's a good environment. And about the second question, I would say that a sniper can commit a mistake.
Great. Good situations, Breno. Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think that the first company that you work at, it wasn't a good place to commit mistakes. There are some companies who still haven't this culture of competition, and they doesn't allow people to make mistakes. It's not good. And you, Sarah.
Yeah, sorry for the noise. My mom decided to cook. Anyway, I'd say this question made me think about my professional life, because I worked as an intern in the past few years, and I felt comfortable to make mistakes. It was expected, actually, for me to make mistakes, not big ones, but to have doubts and things like that. And now, as I'm working full time, I'm not an internship anymore. It's hard for me because I feel the pressure, not for myself and for the company, because they expect something from me because I graduated and I'm not the innocent, I don't know, the innocent, the naive girl anymore. I've learned something and I should deliver more. So I think for now I feel a little bit uncomfortable with my mistakes because of that. Can you hear me? Okay, sorry for the noise. And the about the profession, it's not allowed. I was thinking bomb squad, because if you cut the wrong wire, you blow everything. So you can't make a little mistake in this kind of job. Yeah, it's a tragic example, but like Reno said, there are companies who judge a little bit more because of the culture, and people are expected to be kind of perfect and to do everything for the company and to deliver greater results, and they don't even have the comfortable environment to grow and to develop. They just are expected to give. It's something really toxic, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Lucas, for the feedback. Go ahead, Leo.
Great, thanks, Sarah. Yeah, I think the problem of being an intern, because every problem in the company is your fault. You can talk with the intern. No, come on, don't talk with me. Great, guys. And okay, Jesus, it's almost finished our time. I think that we have time just one more question. Okay, so guys, question number 10. What was the funniest mistake you have made? For example, it happens with Lucas. I was with Lucas in that moment, because as I said, now I'm living by myself and I have to learn how to cook. But I have no idea how to cook it some years ago. And Lucas and I will live it together. And I was cooking a broccoli pie and a cake. But it was not that good. I think I commit some mistake that I have no idea what happened, but it wasn't good in the end. And then Lucas looked at me and I was just, he looked at me, Leo, are you sad because your cook wasn't well? And I was, yes. isn't good. I don't want to cook anymore. But yeah, it was a fun situation when I was learning how to cook a cake and a pie. But now I know how to do it. And you, Sarah, what it was the funniest mistake that you have made?
I really don't know. Something I was thinking was about English when I confused the words sink, pia, and sin, that is pecado. And I was talking with someone, and I said, "Oh, I I'm a sink, like so a pia," but I wanted to say like the other thing, and I was like, "Oh, he didn't understand me," and I tried to explain, but yeah, usually I don't remember something else. Sorry, guys. But with
No,
English, it happens a lot, Now a little bit less, but at first, oh my gosh, all the time.
yeah, it still happens with me. Brunei,
I have no idea. Well, I was trying to think about something here. Probably there is something, but I just can't remember. Something really really funny. I have no idea. Like sometimes I change some words, but nothing. Oh, this is the funniest moment. I don't know. Sorry.
no problem, Bruna. Lucas and you.
Oh, my mistake was the last week. Well, guys, I adopted two dogs, the Fantini and Capitu, this name. And well, I was in a meeting in the last week, and I decided to put my two dogs alone in the room. Well, in the room we have in our house several things: the chair and another stuffs. And when I listen something wrong, I just some like a bite, something, the sound. And I think, oh, it's okay. I just opened the door of my 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 room and saw the two dogs, and then I think, oh, it's okay. This little dogs is okay. And then 10 minutes later, I just listened the same song. When I saw, I go to the other room and see my dogs just, how can I say this, destroy the whole chair, you know. And my mistake is just put alone two dogs, the little dogs, alone in the room. So I believe, guys, these are my last fun mistake. But it's basically this. And you, Brandon,
He's not here anymore.
it's not here anymore. And
Yeah. Okay. So guys, I share with you on the chat the survey to this meeting. So please answer these. And I will ask one more question. I want to know from Bruna if are you a person who admits your mistakes or tries to hide them?
Good. I think if we try to hide it, I think it's worse, because the other person may find out, and I don't know, it can be worse, like depending on the moment or on the situation, so I'm trying to admit and not to hide it anymore. I think in the past I would hide it, but it doesn't change anything, the person will find out sooner or later, so it's better to tell it soon.
Yes, but I have to remember you all guys that Bruna has no mistakes. She's perfect. So yeah,
Come
she
on.
has nothing to talk. And just Sarah.
Yeah, I think especially in my personal relations, I prefer to just say it because it's more, the sooner I tell, the sooner I can solve the problem, and it's important. But at work, sometimes I like to not tell, but I do because it's worse for your reputation, to be a liar, and people have to trust you at work and every other places. But yeah, I think it is something really tough to do sometimes.
Yes, sometimes when I am dating someone new, I just, oh, that's it, guy. Boy, this is all my mistakes. Do you still wanna kiss this boy or not?
Just open the everything and hope for the rest.
Yes. And you, Lucas?
Oh, can you repeat the question, Lau? Because it's
Are you
freezing
a
the moment that you say.
person? Are you a person who admits your mistakes or tries to hide them?
Oh, I am honest with me, with myself. So I just put in the words, oh, I made this mistake, and I will solve this mistake. And dot. I believe is my behavior with this. Because when you hide, you have another gift. so so you have two gifts: the make mistake and hide. So I believe is a good way to make this the better way.
Yeah, it's a good sport. So guys, we have no time anymore to one more questions. And for today, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and I hope you will still commit a lot of mistakes and learn from them. And let's learn with your own mistakes, and especially here on TNT, let's learning committing mistakes. Okay, so guys, have a great week and see you all here again next week. Bye
See you. Bye.
bye.
Have a great
Bye,
night.
guys.
Thank you. Bye.